Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living a life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not thinking.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, Rotarians and guests. If you can please take your seat. I want to welcome everybody to the greatest Rotary Club on earth. All right, first up is if I could have Raymond Smith come up here. He just joined us in June of this year with Indy Realty, graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautics University, and for the pledge and song of your grand old flag.
Guys ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Your grand old flag, your high-flying flag, and forever it be, may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true neath the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or a brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the old flag.
Go ahead and grab your seats. Before we do the inspiration, if I can have everybody have their seats, please. Before I get Kim up for the inspiration, have an announcement to make with a moment of silence. Gordon Graham passed away on July 24th. The reason we're finding out about it just now is, unfortunately, their grandson, 34 years old, had a severe asthma attack, if you will, and passed away right after that. So we will have cards going around for Nancy. Obviously, it's been a troubling time. Gordon was with the club for 54 years. He joined in 1968. He was 98 years old. And, you know, one other thing that I want to mention about Gordon is last year is he attempted to resign from the club. He said the ability to get here was too tough. And so the board had made the decision at the recommendation of past President Mark that we didn't want Gordon to resign. So he was appointed an honorary member. And ironically, there's a letter that had just been dropped off to Dorina that was written thanking us and that he was honored to be bestowed as an honorary member. Unfortunately, he passed away before that letter could be delivered to us. So if we could have a moment of silence for Gordon. Thank you. Kim, if I can have you come up here. Kim, I think everybody knows, is with Arizona Bowl, graduated NAU, and has been a member since March of 2021.
Warren Buffett once said, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." Ensuring that those trees are planted for the future often fall to our public servants. Public servants, whether they are working in local or national government or are dedicating their lives through community service or nonprofit work, are in many ways the unsung heroes of our communities. However, we count on them to ensure that we are safe, that we have working infrastructure, that our environment is protected, our children educated, and our economy strengthened. Public service is not easy. We take for granted that we have clean water to our homes, that the streetlights operate, and ambulances show up when we dial 911. We can thank public servants that these activities seamlessly happen. As stewards of public policy, public servants demonstrate daily how critical true service is to the integrity of our society and nation. As Rotarians, we have that in common with those that work in the public sector. We share the sense of possibility of what our efforts can produce as we quietly serve to improve the lives of others around us. May we all continue to plant the actual and metaphorical trees that shade and protect our future, and may that work inspire others to do so as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Everyone, enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in about another 15 minutes.
Last week. On Saturday. Tomorrow. Exactly, yes. Oh, sure, I'm CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. Don't say that too loud, Mark. Yeah. So, oh, right. Well, thank you.
Next Tuesday. That's the next number. And may I live to be it.
Saturdays are a wonderful day. It won't go in the 70s. There's not a name tag.
Maybe one. I'm CEO. Yes, I have. That's right. Exactly, that's true. Everyone is
We never quiz it, anybody do a quiz. So what are you doing for your birthday?
My birthday was Saturday, and we had a Alan had a family party. And my son from, it's a big one, it adds up to 1587. And my son from Las Vegas and my son from Phoenix showed up unexpectedly. I was walking down the hall, and here they came, and I just got so I broke my ankle very badly 35 years ago. Sort of solid in a not perfect position, and over the years it just gets a little worse, and I had bones sticking out. That was making it really. Now. Yeah, she's had trouble. She has arthritis. Mine is traumatic. But, no, it's all solid. Sort of solid. So I wear boots, and this is just a chunk of bone off that I was walking on, and it feels better already. So I know. Oh, don't worry. But thank you for your thought.
born here, I've been here for years. Yeah. So I go house still there? Well, one thing is. Yeah. Okay.
Quite a bit larger, but
It probably is somewhere. Okay. You said out on Broadway?
yeah.
So like the Sacramento? You know, that's great. Started realizing like
Tucson is a great place to grow up. Even
Welcome back, Rotarians. All right, where's our sergeant? Oh, there he is. Here comes Chris Dodge in order to introduce our guests. Chris Dodge Entertainment, U of A member since 2020. Chris.
Thank you, President Bruce. So please stand up, wave, say hello as you can. As I announce our guest, we're so happy that you're all here with us today. So guest of Jim Murphy, say hello to Teresa Hill. Hi, Teresa. Guest of Pat Patton, say hello to Kendall Foster. Right back there. And another guest of Pat Patton, Heath Vescovi Chiordi. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? I like that, yeah. Thank you. I practiced with Heath beforehand. Guest of Hugh Thompson. Say hello to Alan Thompson. There you are. Guest of Steve Christie. Say hello to Beth Borazon. Hi, Beth. And guest of Jeff Hotchkiss. Say hello to Don Reiger. Hi, Don. That's all I got. Back to you.
That's what I like. The rowdy table is all over it. So, I'm very excited to be bringing up our next speaker, Jan Lesher. Her full bio is in the Tucson, but I do want to just cover a few points. Jan was born, raised, and educated here in Tucson. She had served as the director of the Department of Commerce until then Governor Napolitano snatched her up, and she worked for the governor as her chief of staff. After Governor Napolitano was appointed to the Department of Homeland Security, the Secretary Napolitano she hired Jan to Washington, D.C. to serve there as Chief of Staff. I might like to add, during that time, the agency had 230,000 employees and a $52 billion, that's with a B, budget. So I think that she's dealt with groups a little bit larger than Pima County, and she probably wishes she had a budget of $52 billion. So she served with Governor and Secretary Napolitano from 2003 through 2010, when she came back home to Pima County. She went to work for Pima County in 2010, quickly advancing to the Deputy County Administrator. Then last fall was named the Acting County Administrator, and in April of this year is our Tucson Pima County Administrator. So please help me to welcome Jan Lesher.
Thank you all so much. What's very comforting, I was in this club in the 90s, and there was a rowdy table in the corner. So it's you can leave, but some things stay exactly the same. So it is, nothing changes. And I think another wonderful part about being a Rotarian, even if you're not still a member, is that four-way test stays with you. I think through all of my time in government or business, to be able to focus periodically on, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned, et cetera, is a really good foundation. So thank you to all, many people in this club were fellow Rotarians back in the day, and I thank you for that. And what I'd like to talk a little bit about, since I've become county administrator, there are 5 real areas that I've been focusing on, and the things that I think are important for us to look at as we get through the next year or so. And the first one I want to talk about is building and maintaining the county infrastructure, which used to be really known to many as Fix the Roads. And the gentleman sitting to my right is probably the person, stand up, Steve Christie. If anybody helped us focus on fixing the roads in Pima County, it was Supervisor Christie. If we lose sight of it, he reminds us, and there's nothing more important. I expanded it only because under Supervisor Christie's direction and with our board, we've done a lot moving in that direction, and that we have, in the first 3 years, we spent $177 million. We've got about $70 million committed this year towards fixing the roads in unincorporated Pima County, and we are looking at a PACER index, or a pavement condition index, of 80%, which means very good or better for all those unincorporated the roads in the unincorporated areas. But to me, it's been, I think, a little bit more than just, are the roads getting fixed? I think Supervisor Christie would tell you as well. to me, it became that index of whether we as Pima County government were serving the people of this community. And I think for many, as we looked at how we went out and chatted with people, there was a sense that it sort of as goes the Podhills goes the relationship with Pima County, and perhaps a lack of, is it true? Is it fair to all? I know. But we weren't doing, our job in that area. And I think that now being able to keep an eye on it and know how we're fixing those roads, and now it expands not only into how are we performing the government, but then the other infrastructure, which this time of year, our flood control system is something that's near and dear to everyone's heart, I think, but the wastewater system, parks and recreation, so many different and critical things that we do to keep your infrastructure alive as part of that Fix the Roads program, and that's important. And again, there's 5, they tend to be in whatever order I, without my glasses, shift, so not really in an area. But number 2 really is the area that we look at is just serving the public. Another area that I think as we look at not only just with fixing the roads and that PACER standard, but what is it we're doing to monitor and make sure that we are responding to the people we serve in this community. I know there's a lot of folks in this room who have worked with our Development Services Department, and I think that may be an area, I see nods, that we really have done a terrific job. I'll say they turn plans around. We know that if anything's time is in fact money, and we need to keep moving, and many of you have had an opportunity with Deputy County Administrator Carmine DeBonis, and he has really turned the department around over the years, and it's one of the things we do well. And now we're trying to figure out how do we take those standards and really get out and make sure that we are serving the public in that same way, following the standards from departments like Development Services. Maintaining responsible fiscal policy or maintaining our bond rating. That's one of those really exciting, sexy things. Like, we talk about in the county, like, will it fit on a baseball cap? We've got to get a motto. And when I come back to something like keeping our bond rating, it's not terribly exciting. But to me, it's really the core of what we do. How are we fiscally managing your money? How are we making sure that we have a AAA bond rating? And that means it's not only telling you all as a community that we are doing a good job managing the money of the county, but it means when we have to go out and do a certificate of participation or do something because we need a short-term pile of money to fix a project for you, that we're going to get it at the very best interest rates. I think the last time we went out to COPS, we were at under 2%. We were about 1.5%, which is not only a sign of the market, but a sign of our bond rating, and we remain committed to making sure that that kind of county fiscal management stays into place. Interesting, you have our Economic Development Director here today because it's making Pima County a region that's an employment magnet. And it's not only for the region, but for Pima County as well. It's something that we look at all the time. How do we make sure that people within the county are really ambassadors, not only for the broader county, but for our government? We are in the same position you all are, I think, right now, which is we need to hire people. We have a lot of vacancies, and it feels like every day we hire a couple more and we lose a couple. So we face this same challenges all of you are facing, and then our job becomes not only to do a good job within Pima County, but to make sure that we're creating an environment in a broader county, geographically, not just the county government, to which people want to live and to live and to work and to worship and to have as a home for a considerable period of time. So a lot going on in that area as well. And really the last area, or the 5th area I look at, is one Pima County, and there's really 2 parts of that. Internally within county government, what I found, we have 32 departments that are not included in the different elected officials. As you know, at Pima County, you've got the sheriff and the county attorney, and they are all separate elected officials as well. But we have 32 departments in the county, and I felt some days that each and every one of them is a complete and total island, and that we weren't getting the kind of conversation and coordination and cooperation amongst and between our departments, and it's become a real focus for us of how we look at forming one Pima County. But it really gets to a broader issue in this valley of one Pima County, and by that, it's how are we interacting with our partners and our colleagues? Michael's here with us today. I think we're trying to reach out and make sure we're working with the chambers of commerce and with all of the other business entities and with groups within the community. But I think one of the most important areas for me when I look at the One Pima County is how are we interrelating with the other jurisdictions. I think for all of you who have been in this area a while and in this valley, there's a lot of conflicts frequently between the different incorporated jurisdictions and the county. And we're not going to agree on everything every day, but there's a lot more about which we do agree than we don't. I met this morning with Mike Ortega. Many of you know Mike, our city manager. We alternate. We meet every Wednesday morning, sometimes in his office, sometimes over at the county, so that we can continue to have communication about the things we're doing, because it's pretty hard to say Pima County, not realize that the city of Tucson is a good chunk of that. Additionally, we meet every Monday virtually with the managers of the other jurisdictions as well. Again, we've got things like the Regional Transportation Authority and PAG, but there's just issues that we need to work on every single day. And the more that we are talking to each other, then when an area of conflict comes up, it's a little easier for us to have those communications. But that one Pima County, without having those isolated pods, is something that is a goal for us, and I think something to which we're moving. And just as another example, I know Diane Cannon, a pal from Humane Society here, and it's another one of those areas we look at. You know, I think for many, we have animal care, and Diane's heard me say this a million times, but I come from a blended family. I have one cat from the Humane Society and one from Pima Animal Care, and they don't get along, but I don't think that has to do with that. But it's that important environment. I said, if you were to talk to the mayor of every jurisdiction, they would probably be able to tell you with great specificity exactly what the border of their community was or is. Dogs don't care nearly as much about where that line is, and so if we are not partnering and working together, that is the thing that's going to help us all in this community. Humane Society contracts with some of the jurisdictions in our valley. We work for others and have our own animal care. But in the final analysis, we're doing the same business, and we just do it a little bit differently sometimes. But if we're not talking and moving together, then shame on all of us. So that's just one small example of what we're doing. And I'm going to stop there because I'm sure that there are some questions, but I wanted to take just a moment to give you a little overview of the kinds of things we're working on at Pima County these days. And just again, we just finished up the budget for the next year, which is I think it's $1.9 billion. But one of those, it doesn't matter whether it's 20 cents or $100 billion, it's your money. And we pledge to be good stewards of that as we move into the community. So thank you for allowing me to come back to my old club today to visit and to chat with all of you. And I'm more than happy to answer questions if I possibly can. Except not from Just saying.
I just think it would be a great time for you to rejoin. Perfect
Okay,
time.
to rejoin? Okay, good. There must be membership. There you go. Thank you.
That wasn't necessarily a question, more
I
a
can
request.
I can answer that one, and yes, happy to. Is that, and then, are we
Yes.
done now? Okay, good. Thank you.
Bruce.
Yep.
Can you speak just a little bit more from an economic development standpoint on where we might be at in attracting new businesses, things of that nature?
Sure, and again, I'm sure we got others here that know more than do we. What we've been looking at really, and we're just developing a new strategic plan for economic development, and I'll tell you what I've found a concern previously, or we've had a great plan, we've had a vision, but the reality is our economic development plan was that I think you all might be familiar with the concept that we took everything we could possibly think about and put it in a plan and said, these are all the things we're going to do at some point, which then is not a strategic plan or a mission because it doesn't help us fine-tune and point and direct. And that's what Heath and his team are leading us through right now to understand how we're working on this valley. I think what we have to look at, one of the things that we bring to the table as the county is really land use. And what are we doing with land use? There's land we own that can be part of the equation and can be even more critical because if we own it, we're not paying taxes on it. If we can repurpose that and move it in so that we've got new businesses coming into the community and are using those lands and are building on some of those lands, then it benefits others. That's a big piece of it. The other piece that we are just starting to look at more and more that's going to impact, I think, all of us in economic development is water. And what we're doing with water use in the valley. And there is, as you know, we have the wastewater, City of Tucson has the water, but we're just the other side of those coins, and there's things that we have to be doing together and to make sure that we are implementing and looking at water use, and that that impacts the economic development piece of what are the kinds of businesses that we're looking to recruit and to promote and welcome into our valley. Obviously, with all of that comes back to our tax rate, the tax base in Arizona and in this community, so that we do have people who want to work here. Education, probably one of the most critical elements. Again, I mentioned I'm a Tucson kid, so it's, to me, the University of Arizona is the center of everything. Economically, physically, socially, sports, you name it. I mean, that's to which we gravitate, and making sure that we have people who are educated and then wish to stay in our community and populate those jobs is critical. So how we're working with the education piece is really it. And I think that's, you know, bring Heath back in about 6 months when we get the plan done, and he can give you all the specificity of where those businesses are and what those land use plans look like. Okay. And I'll actually know how to pronounce his name by that, so I'm gonna. Yes, sir. Hi,
Jan,
Steve.
I'd like you to go back to water. And I know this is not Pima County's problem, but can you just comment on what's going on with the Colorado River? It is pretty scary for everybody in these 7 states that are drawing from the river. What's your perspective on what's going on and what could be a solution?
I'm really not in a position to really explain what the solution is to all of that are going on. I know we just had additional rulings come out late yesterday or today that the amount of water that we are getting coming in, you know, from our allocations is diminishing. I would do a disservice to, I'm afraid, to really articulate it more than that, than understanding. There's a whole bunch of people in this area that are experts, and I am not that, and I'm afraid to step in that area, other than I will tell you we've had a smart water working group that has been meeting, and on Monday of this week, I convened a water working group within Pima County of all of our departments that not only use water, may have a governance of water, but can impact water with Pima County. And then today, based on our meeting with the city, we agreed that we would add 2 our water working group representatives of Tucson Water and the city manager's office as well to look at the vision. So don't have I wish I had a snappy one-liner. I do not, but again, huge area for us to be watching. Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
My husband is Hugh Thompson. We live in an area to the east of First, and we need to know who to thank for our beautiful roads. Our whole area has been redone, and we have such good high self-esteem now.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
We need to know who to thank.
I just want to come kiss you on the lips, actually. It's just thank you. That is so good to hear. But again, I think for a while, I think our eye was taken off the ball, and will tell you again, I think Supervisor Christie has really led the charge of making sure that we pay attention and we keep at it. So thank you.
Grant Road.
Yes, sir.
Grant Road between Swan and Columbus is an absolute disaster. You can't drive on it. It's been like that for many years. I know that they've been talking for more than 30 years about widening Grant Road. Is that road still a disaster because of that? Or are they going to repave Grant Road? Is there a plan to finally do this project?
This is the thing you hate to hear from government, but that's not us. But it's a City of Tucson project on that area, and some of it's, you are right that I think it's gotten caught up, and some of it's, we've all watched businesses be taken out as they did the widening and not. And I don't have that answer. What I can do is get an answer for you from the city and get it back to Bruce, and we can get it maybe out in the newsletter so you get an answer to that. Would that work? Okay. Thank you.
We have one more question over here from
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Cliff.
Yeah, hi. The city every once in a while gets serious about trying to incorporate north of River Road. From the county's perspective, what are the advantages, disadvantages if that area ever becomes incorporated?
Right now, we're looking at both the area north of River Road. We've had people contact us from the Vale area, which happens regularly, and we've also got a group out in the Tanque Verde area has been looking at this. I'm going to tell you there's pros and cons. There really are. There's the additional state shared revenues that come in that are available, but there's a lot of additional costs that comes with also governing, running that own area. I'd say if people wanted to go out and incorporate strictly to save money, you're not going to do it. That's not the reason. There is a reason, however, in many of these communities that people simply want to be the king of their own kingdom, and we understand that. And if you want to have all the control over that area, there's a reason to incorporate. If anyone is interested, we do have a team at the county that helps folks with that. If people want to say, here's an area we're looking at incorporating, what would be the tax base, what would be our costs, and we can get those numbers to folks. But just the Reader's Digest version is don't do it to save money, do it to have governance over your area. Okay. Thank you all very much for letting me be here today.
Thank you, Jan. I appreciate it. Grab a couple of things. Yeah, one comment that she made about development services is, as you guys know, I mean, that was sort of my past life, or what I was involved with, and the development services within Pima County does an absolutely amazing job, and I wish you could take it over for the city. So, the other that I also want to thank you on is, and I think you do know this, and past presidents know this, is a lot of times there's, the creep factor when it comes to programs. So sometimes you'll have a speaker that, goes on, and, you start getting nervous and sweating around the collar, and, so you bought me some time. And the reason why I say that is because now it comes to birthdays. And the first birthday boy that I want to be inviting up here, who's also going to be doing a Happy Jackson, but Hugh Thompson was also a past president in 97 and 98. And so we all know if you got a minute for your birthday and you're a past president, and then you got another minute for, a Happy Jackson, not to mention that, he gave me 2 different checks. One of them was specifically for the Happy Jackson. So Rowdy Table, I don't want you to go crazy. And Chris, if we need the hook, I will go ahead and let you know that. But Hugh has bought some time. But Hugh Thompson, as those of you that know, was orthopedic surgery, graduated from Yale. He has been a member since 1989. But something that you probably didn't know is Hugh loves to be on top of the mountains. His top 3 are Mount Rainier, the Grand Teton, 18,500 feet, and Kalapatar, 1,000 feet above the base camp of Mount Everest, Nepal. So please welcome and wish happy birthday to Hugh Thompson.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and I want to thank the past Professor Richard Kincaid and the still with us Dr. John Wong for inviting me into this incredible club. I think you may be interested in what a teacher found when she asked 4 to 8-year-old kids what love meant to them. 7-year-old Bobby said, "Love is what is in the room with you at Christmas when you stop opening presents and just listen." Nika, age 6, said, "If you want to learn to love better, you should start with a friend who you hate." Marianne, age 4, said, "Love is when your puppy licks your face, even when you've left him alone all day." 7-year-old Karen said, "When you love somebody, your eyelashes go up and down, and stars come out of you." Jessica, age 8, said, "You really shouldn't say I love you unless you mean it. But if you mean it, you should say it a lot. People forget." When Tony, age 4, saw the recently widowed elderly gentleman next door crying, he walked over to the old man's yard, climbed into his lap, and just sat there. When he got home, his mother said to him, "What did you say to him?" Tony said, "Nothing. I just helped him cry. Wow. Kids, not far from their first God-given, love-filled, animating breath of life, seem to see and feel the omnipresent love that surrounds us all and the very subtle and commonplace happenings in their lives. Many adults, having had their hearts bruised and sometimes closed by the ups and downs of this bipolar world, have more trouble experiencing the love lurking around every corner in their lives. It may take, as Jessica suggested, a lot of I love yous or loud expressions of love to slowly wedge their hearts open again. Many kids have been caught up in the entanglement of life too early to experience the joy and power of unconditional love. Our club's mentoring projects have tried to bridge this gap. Rotary mentors work to slowly reintroduce unconditional love to their mentees by their consistent weekly presence over the months and years of their service of the heart. These projects have been life-changing for child and mentor alike. Our present car show is a unified effort to expand our reach by raising the big bucks to help professional, love-filled agencies like Make Way for Books, JTED, and others touch many more lives and also give everyone in this club a chance to participate in our car show and be a love giver, always remembering love is all that matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. Speaking of, one thing I forgot to mention, which I've already had Jan sign, is the book is City Signs, which goes into our Make Way for Books, goes to Make Way for Books. So, next up, Michael Greiman. His birthday is on the 18th. He joined us in May of this year, as everyone knows, Tucson Metro Chamber of Commerce, as well as the University of Arizona. But what's interesting to find out is Michael actually worked for a member of parliament in London as part-time work abroad with a program in college. When he wasn't performing for this member of parliament, he worked at a sports shoe store on Oxford Street and sometimes refers to sneakers as trainers. Come on up, Michael.
Yes, thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you, everyone. Yes, in England, they call sneakers trainers. They also, the East Londoners, have a slang word. Basically, dude, like, hey, dude, translates to Giza. So they would come to me and they say, hey, Giza, can you get this for me? I looked at them, I'm like, you're the same age as me. So anyway. So Rotary, service above self, right? Service above self. And so I want to talk a little bit about sacrifice. So my director of government affairs, great gal. She not only has a bachelor's degree from ASU, she also has a master's degree from ASU. Tonight, or actually later this afternoon, we, the Chamber, have our U of A athletics mixer at the Sands Club. She showed up today in a Wildcats t-shirt. That, my friends, is service above self. May we all continue to follow Alexa's lead in service above self. Thank you so much. God bless.
That's great. Next, Jeannie Zita birthday is on the 23rd. Joined us February of 2019, retired from community education, Southwest State University. But interesting factoid about Jeannie is, as many of you know, she had been in the Rotary Club from previously before moving here, is she got to talk with and have her picture taken with none other than Jennifer Jones when she spoke to the Edina, thank you, Rotary Club in 2016 before she was chosen as the first Rotary Club president in 2022-2023. So we want to see that picture, Jeannie. Happy birthday.
Good afternoon. It's fun to see that this is now my 4th birthday I'm celebrating with this club, and I'm so glad that when my husband decided to take the job at Raytheon that I found the Tucson Rotary Club, because I feel like this has made my transition a whole lot more fun, and I love it. So I have a check for the scholarship fund. And I did want to take my quick minute just to share that Bobby's going to give the ticket report today, but I noticed something unusual today when I was checking for online. I check every day to see how many tickets have come in online. I hate to tell you this, but we haven't had any Rotarian credited for ticket sales in 1 week. So we have 8 weeks to go. I'm going on vacation next week. I won't be here to give you more tickets, so if you want them, come back and get them today. Roger won't be here next week either, so come and see if you need more tickets, and please start selling tickets, because I would feel so delighted if I came back that last week of August and came to the mixer and could tell you, we shot up, because we're at like 800 tickets sold online right now, and we used to be at about 4,000 last year at this time online, so would you all please give it a big hurrah and start bringing in money, because it's 8 weeks to go. Thank you.
All right, we have some Paul Harris presentations. If I could have Jim Murphy come on up here, past president. And I think you'll have front and center is Rob Lemaster, Mitch, and Charlotte.
Mr. President, Rotarians, honored guests, and special honored guest. I will apologize in advance for having sinus. I think I might be the only one in Tucson that has it, and I talked to my primary, and he's tremendous, and he says, keep taking those antihistamines. I mean, great advice. So we're very fortunate today talking about the Rotary Foundation and Paul Harris. Those who support the Rotary Foundation and make investments in efforts to bring about world peace and understanding. Many have said that as long as there is hunger, poverty, disease, and cultural ignorance anywhere in the world, there is threat to peace everywhere. And it's interesting to note that Rotary Foundation has a greater reach than United Nations. Rotary is in more countries and territories than the United Nations. Today we honor 2 of our fellow Rotarians of the Rotary Club of Tucson who are getting their Paul Harris Fellows in recognition of their support and investments in the Rotary Foundation. 2 of our members who stand out in their professional lives and who have given and continue to give so much to our community and beyond. And they're both wearing their new Paul Harris pins. Mike Piskey is receiving his Paul Harris Fellow. Mitch is a business consultant, executive coach, professional keynote speaker, and leadership trainer. He has worked with over 700 executives, hundreds of companies, and dozens of industries, and in 32 countries. This includes many in Arizona, Tucson, and is pleased to say a few Rotarians. This guy, I think, is 99 years old or so, from what he's done already in his life. He considers himself blessed to have the opportunity to assist so many executives, business owners, and entrepreneurs achieve and exceed their professional, financial, and even personal aspirations. He finds it exceedingly rewarding. Previous to starting his consulting practice 6 years ago, he was CEO of 4 private equity-owned portfolio companies for over 15 years. He was CEO of 4 private, he spent 17 years as a senior executive for several Fortune 100 global companies. He also is a current or past member of several public, private, and not-for-profit boards, teaches strategic leadership at the U of A, and is an honorary commander at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Married for 34 years to a wonderful, talented wife, Bonnie, they have 2 sons who are doing great. One works for Charles Schwab, and the other at Google, following tremendously in their father's footsteps. He believes once he commits to a client, company, or cause, he is all in. Life is too short, he says, to shortchange himself or those around him. When asked why he supports Rotary programs, Mitch shares, "I'm thrilled, honored, and humbled to have the opportunity to make a difference at the best Rotary Club in the world. Everyone in this room has the option of giving their time, talent, and treasures to a plethora of worthy causes. Good for all of us for picking the one that is focused on having the greatest positive impact locally and globally. And a beautiful bonus, we get to do it with having fun with beautiful people." Congratulations, Mike. Our second recipient today is Rob Lemaster, who's receiving his Paul Harris +1. Rob has been the Southern Arizona Regional Director for Make-A-Wish, Arizona, since 2013, and has over 30 years nonprofit and association management and fundraising experience. He also holds a designation as a certified fundraising executive. An Oro Valley resident, Rob was also a member of the town's economic development think tank and Planning and Zoning Commission, and served 1 term as a board member of the Northwest Fire District. Rob was born in Dallas, Texas, but grew up with his father's hometown of Perrington, Texas. I had a chance just before the meeting to talk to him because I have a nephew who lives there, and Rob has quite a few stories about that little town, and it was nice for him to share them with me. My nephew's been here a few times. His mother, my sister, is here, but I've never been up there. I tried once, and he couldn't find a hotel that had any rooms, and there aren't that many hotels. But anyways, Rob attended Texas Tech University, graduating with a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in marketing and a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies with an emphasis on business, political science, and mass communications. That seemed like an awful lot of courses. Yeah, he wanted to stay there for a while. Following graduation, he went into the real estate business of farm, ranch, and residential. He then worked for Greater Dallas Chamber of Commerce before he came here to Tucson and worked for the Tucson Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. Rob is married to Karen, an oncology physician assistant, and they have 1 daughter, Madison, a graduate of NAU who is a physical therapist with Baylor Scott & White in Dallas. They have 2 Boston Terriers, Bailey and Hazel. Rob loves to play golf. He says he's not that good, but he does hike, kayak, and is an avid sports fan. Much more active than I am, unfortunately. When asked why he supports Rotary International, he responds, "Because it is the best way to support projects around the world while doing good in our own community at the same time." Congratulations, Bob. Let's all stand, please, and thank both of them for their contributions internationally and locally.
Thank you, Jim. Next, we have a new member Blue Badge presentation. I know that Marianne is excited about this. We're all excited about this. So Marianne, come on up, past president, 2010, 2011, retired from the pool construction and repair business. Marianne.
Thank you. Give me that back so I don't take it. Hi, everybody. It's my pleasure today to introduce you to a returning Rotarian, Alan Schroep. Alan was a Rotarian in our club from 2007 to 2013 when his employment took him to Indiana. While here, he was a very active member in our club, in addition to serving on the board from 2011 to 13. He was born in Marion, Indiana, and grew up on a farm in a small town. His hobbies are coaching basketball, team building, personal development, reading, and running, and he has completed 9 marathons with more to come. His career has been in the veterinary industry, starting with that interest when he was only 14. It's nice to know that early what you want to do. He's a graduate of Purdue University with a BA in animal science and a master's in business administration from the University of Phoenix. His career has been managing veterinary businesses, lastly becoming assistant director and hospital administrator at Purdue University, excuse me, Veterinary Teaching Hospital from 2014 until retiring to Tucson in 2021. It's no surprise that Alan married wife Lisa, a true animal lover who now works at Pima Animal Care. Diana. Lisa and Alan are proud parents of adopted children, Sophia and Caden, and are thrilled to be back in Tucson. Now raise your hand if you have a dog. Who has a dog? Oh, wow. That's a lot of people that have a dog. You dog owners are going to love this, that this fall, Alan and Lisa are opening up a doggy daycare, which has training and grooming facility as well, at Pantano and Broadway, and it's called Camp Bow Wow. Really cute. They have counselors to take care of the dogs. They have cabins where they stay. It's really cute. But if you don't have a dog, I'm sure Lisa can help you. Something you didn't know about Alan, he drove a semi in 26 states in one summer. But wait, there's more. Not only am I introducing Alan as a new member, but I'm also presenting him today with his blue badge. So please stand and welcome returning new member with his blue badge, Alan Schroep.
Mr. Murphy, if I could have you come back up. Apparently, there's some gifts that need to be given out.
That's correct. And I wanted to make one other statement. You had mentioned your past to Jan, and I thought I'd mention my past when I was in a position that young man in a blue shirt is down at the end, where the county had no HR department. It had no structure of any kind, and it's come a long way since 1968. And the thing I forgot was the least most important of our ceremony today. And if both of you will come back up, in keeping with our tradition of providing gifts of little or no value, we have something special that was found in our storage area unit. It reflects that both of you are on the cutting edge of your professions. So each of you will receive 6 elegant dinner knives wrapped in blue and white gold ribbon of Rotary. And I'm not sure, and Drew isn't here today, but it could be from his closed restaurant of many years ago, but we'll have to find out about that. But again, congratulations.
Sergeant at Arms, Chris, I believe we're up with a little bit of money to raffle off.
Oh, yeah. I'll come up there and do it. It's always easier. So, guys, we're over like $840 in the big pot now. So, at this rate, sometime mid-September, we're going to get over $1,000. Then it gets real, unless someone wins the 800 and so on, some odd bucks today. Alan, new blue badge. Pick a ticket. Pick a good one. Pick a winner. All right, get out your tickets. It is 152584. I have $41 for you. Diana, look at that! Congratulations. All right, now let's see if you won the big bucks. Have you ever been close to winning something, Diana? Queen of Spades. All right, back to you, Bruce.
Actually, it's back to you, Sergeant at Arms. Is Alan where? Alan's right down there. He has a little announcement to make.
Thank you. This is going to sound odd, but I am strongly recommending that you do not come to Rotary 2 weeks from today. And as a physician, when I give a recommendation, people follow it exactly. So if you show up in 2 weeks, there will be no one here, because you should come to the Rotary Mixer that's going to be Wednesday, August 31st, 5:30 at the Noble Hops restaurant. That's at the Doubletree where we used to meet on Alvernon. So be there and be square. Or be square.
And actually, keeping with that theme is, can I see how many are going to be in town over Labor Day weekend? So it looks to me like the majority are going to be in town. So you have no excuse not to be at the Mixer. But I was thinking, kind of like the beach theme, or, kind of like by the ocean or by a lake or something like that. So I think that those that are going to be able to attend the Mixer, it's a perfect day for a wild, weird, wacky Wednesday. And I think we all need to kind of go with that, Hawaiian theme, or, sort of like, hanging out on the beach type of theme. So remember that for the Mixer, to come wearing your favorite beach-themed outfit. Next up is, want to talk just a quick minute about sponsors. As you know, last year during President Mark's term, there was a number of programs to where we had speakers that we felt was appropriate to seek sponsorship to help bring in extra revenue to be able to keep club dues down for members. We have some great speakers this year, and we kind of wanted to put it out there to membership to let you know that you might think of some people that could be appropriate to be a sponsor for certain meetings. The next one up, because Mark unfortunately next week got away from me, but on September 21st, we have Tommy Lloyd. Now that is absolutely a program that we need to have a major sponsor at. So, and by the way, can anybody guess what the Wild, Weird, Wacky Wednesday theme would be on the 21st? Red out, that's right, U of A. So, yeah, let's keep it red. I mean, I'll go with U of A, but as much red as possible would be a good thing. So anyway, the one thing about with Tommy Lloyd, or past coaches, as you're aware, that is one where we need to RSVP. We don't know. It's been pre-COVID before the last time we had a basketball coach. It was actually 5 years ago. We had one supposed to come, and then there was a little thing called NCAA violations came up, and so it's been about 7 years since we've seen a basketball coach here. So we expect a large turnout, so you will need to RSVP for that. And let's see, Bobby Larson, where are you floating around? Bobby in the back.
Yeah, real quick, Bruce. First of all, I want to introduce Marcy Euler, who's going to talk about volunteers for the car show.
Good afternoon. We are working on getting the website populated with the volunteer opportunities, so people will be able to sign up, not just our Rotary Club members, but also the public through the website. If you got one of these lovely highlighted yellow forms about what you need for volunteer support, please return it to me. If you have not already, you can either hand it to me, or my email is on the page. We are excited about all of the new members that are participating and being part of the car show. And if you have any questions about volunteering, please let me know.
Thanks, Marcy. The other thing, just really quick, I wanted to go over is, I think you said it best, definitely. Love is what it's all about. So let's volunteer, as volunteering is love. See Marcy with your time. See Jeannie, Roger, David, or me about tickets, because I know you'll need more tickets with all the tickets you're going to be selling. Online, you can sell tickets, passing out cards to get people to order tickets. They can get them. Also, regular paper tickets or events. Follow Hugh's lead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby. Just one other quick announcement before I go ahead and start to wrap up is we got this from the district membership chair, and I know we've talked a little bit about the district conference, which is going to be at the end of September. And one of the things that they were talking about, they have different breakout sessions there, and during that conference, they were saying that with some of the breakout sessions for newer members, that it could be a great opportunity for you to be able to attend. I did mention in a prior meeting one of the things they've done with the district conference, which is on Friday and Saturday, is there's all sorts of things that are a la carte. So you don't have to sign up for 2 days if that doesn't work for you. But go online, take a look at the agenda, and there might be some things that appeal to you. So now, in order to conclude, first I want to thank all of our guests that were able to attend today, whether it's in person or virtually. If you haven't had the opportunity and would like to donate to the scholarship cups, please do so. Miles of memory, I'll be updating you in a few weeks on how many more miles I've been trekking, so if you have any interest in that, there's forms on the back table. Happy birthday to Hugh, Michael, and Jeannie. Alan, congratulations, welcome back to the club, as well as on your blue badge. And Mitch and Rob, congratulations on your Paul Harris. Next week we have Susan Duman from the Sun Corridor, which I'm real excited about being able to get them in. There should be a lot of great information on things that are coming to Tucson. So, and now if we could stand for a toast. Leadership and diplomacy do not always go hand in hand. To run a municipality, you need both. You need to be willing to make tough decisions, yet listen to your constituents and do things in a collaborative manner. Jan has already demonstrated that she has all those qualities to lead Pima County to a bright future. Hear, hear. We are.
Thanks, Bruce.
You got
Very
it.
nice meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.